everybody. Welcome to Live in the Living Room. I'm Bobby Ray, and we got a great show tonight. We haven't been on in a while because we've had some cancellations and stuff like that, but we are back and we're excited. And we got a whole new format here. Actually, we had another person, so we moved it from the one side of the living room over to the other side of the living room. Actually, this is the dogs area that Danielle has taken over. And we're not going to show you with the camera because the camera has to be set up a certain way, but you can see the dog bed right over there, and there are no dogs. They are put away. All right, so right off the bat, I want to thank my buddy Austin Root for the Indiana Jones hat. This is so cool. Is this not cool? Of course, I am an Indiana Jones fanatic. And I want to thank Austin Root. You guys know Austin? No. You got to check out Austin's music. Austin plays like an old-fashioned, I guess, 40s, 50s. I don't know who you could compare him to. But he has a band called the Shirt Tuckers, and he just brought out their CD. It's phenomenal. Austin Root, he graduated from Vanderbilt this year. Good friend. Check him out. I'm going to throw this to you. Do not bend it. Remember, Austin said to put it like this, so I don't get messed up. I'm getting on with the show. Thanks, Austin. Love you, man. All right. That's what? That's it. And remember, like I said, this is all improv.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm improv, brother.
He's improv. You know, we got a live studio audience here tonight. So on the count of three, let's hear for the studio audience. Yes? So that tells me that word is getting out that, yes, we heard you back there. Word is getting out about Live in the Living Room. I think we have what, honey? Maybe 20 people watching? Yeah, 20. This is going to help your career hugely, I promise you. That's why. Were you?
I was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you like the food?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, you have to say that because you're live and in the living room. And,
no, Adrienne knows how to burn.
She knows how to burn.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
All right, well, I want to introduce our first guest. We have Cheyne. I've been practicing that all day because I look at your name and I'm like, that's not Cheyne. Cheyne is Shane. You're more like Cheyenne.
I know. It looks like Cheyenne, but it's not.
Okay.
Not. And, gosh, it's been so funny. I've made some jokes. I cracked some jokes with we were talking off camera. We were talking about the Commodore here in town, right? You know, Debbie and Jimmy and those guys. And so I cracked jokes with some of those folks about, okay, once I get to an easier to spell stage name, I'll let you know.
Well, yeah.
But in the meantime, here you go. It looks great on business.
But that's really how you spell it, right?
It is.
There's no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled. And there's it's kind of wild. It's not Indian. It's actually an old French name. But where I see it the most is when it's like in places like London. Like there's a street with that same spelling.
Stilwell.
Well, no, Cheyne.
Oh, Cheyne.
Yeah. I mean, Stilwell is from England as well. But anyway, yeah. So, but that's really going down the trail.
Wow. And we have Sarah Giles. Giles, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, I messed it up. It said here it was phonetically spelled Giles. We're glad you're here. You want to introduce your guitar player?
Yeah.
This is a first.
Yeah, this is Chris Husky over here on guitar. Yeah.
Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hopefully that picks up, because we only have a phone. But we are trying. All right, so what we do is I ask you questions that you have no idea that you're going to be asked. But you guys already had the Live in the Living Room and Live in the Kitchen over there. All the questions that I asked, when you had conversations amongst yourself, you covered everything. So good night, everybody. No. So
the bows are rosined up.
So what we're going to do is I'll try, but I know that you guys already, talked about stuff. But tell us where you're from,
all right,
and what you do and where you're going.
Okay, so I'm originally from Southwestern Virginia, very close to West Virginia. I was talking with some of these folks, off camera about that as well. In a little place, I was born in a little place called Richlands, which is about an hour and a half north of Bristol. So if you're familiar with NASCAR and the Bristol Speedway, you get about an hour and a half north of there. That's Richlands. But I didn't stay there. My family and I, we eventually moved into D.C. area. And so I spent my growing up years in Northern Virginia, and then met her in about an hour south of D.C.
He's pointing to his wife,
Yes,
studio
yes,
audience.
this is my wife, who you don't see on here.
He's not pointing to Adrian.
So I met my wife Katrina in college in a little place called Fredericksburg, about an hour south of D.C. And then we continued on, and then about 20 years ago, I guess it was, we moved to Charlotte, and we were there for 17 years. And 2.5 years ago, we came here.
Okay, you were almost at Bristol.
Yeah, almost to Bristol.
And then you went to Charlotte.
Yeah, so there's Bristol, and then there's a lot of Northern Virginia stuff.
Were you a NASCAR fan?
Not that much growing up, but I got exposed to a lot of it.
So that had nothing to do with your moving.
No,
Okay.
not so much. No,
just checking.
But it is. But that is kind of an interesting thing. You know, Bristol's got a track, Charlotte's got a track, and
Nashville's got a track.
That's right. So
Who would have thunk?
So hey, if somebody wants to call me up for a musical special at some race, I'm up for it. That's fine. So yeah, it'll work. But yeah, so Charlotte for 17 years, and we actually weren't sure that if we were ever going to move from Charlotte, and then we had a family thing come up. Interestingly, but this is like right after the lockdowns and everything back 2020, 2021, and so it just one thing led to another, and here we are in the Nashville area.
That's really cool.
Yeah, enjoying it. So.
Your story,
Hey.
you fellow Ohioan.
Yeah, fellow Ohioans in the room. From Akron, Ohio, originally. Go Akron.
That's a half hour from
Yeah.
Youngstown.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a small world, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. And moved here about 2 years ago after being in school in West Virginia, as we were talking about earlier, for about 5 years in Morgantown. And now I'm in Nashville and loving it and happy to be here.
That's a pretty good sum up real quick. You
Yeah.
talked a lot in there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the conversation will
I'm sure it will.
take us in a different direction.
I'm sure
But
it will.
that's the nutshell.
That's the nutshell. All right. So both of you, what is your goal? What is your goal? You come to Nashville, everybody's got a dream, you want to make the big time. Obviously, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to make the big time unless it's in the nursing homes. I play them almost 4 times a month, and they like me. They really like me. So if that's my high point, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Being at the age that I am. Well, what's your high point, or have you reached that high point yet?
Yes and no, in a sense. I mean, well, no as in I don't feel like I've seen the full playing out of it yet.
Right.
Or some people might use the word manifestation of things yet. But my purpose in life is really to be a voice. A voice for change, a voice of hope, a voice of joy, a voice of love, so I just want to do it like breathing,
Sure.
Whether that's we talked over our meal before our session here about one of those things that I do with my voice, other than singing, and that is I do audiobook narration. And I also have done some voiceover stuff. So.
Plus, you have a podcast, I read.
Yeah, I do have a podcast. That's ramping up.
What's it about?
It's interesting. It's called Royal Awakening.
I thought it was called Godspeak.
Oh no! That was one that I was on for a friend. But,
all right.
Yeah, there's
make note of that.
But no, I have one. It's called Royal Awakening. Actually, I have a link to it on my Linktree. It's about encouraging people to move, to live, and to be the royals that we were meant to be.
Yeah.
Because we are.
Yep.
And as soon as we recognize that, as soon as we come to the place of realizing that, and we learn to flow in that, life just starts to happen way different. So yes.
Purpose?
Forgot the question.
Well, Cheyne answered it so nicely, and I hate to piggyback off you, but I do agree. You know, I think that, you know, especially coming to a city like Nashville, where we talk about this a lot. You know, everybody is here for a similar reason in music, and it is to make music. And you know, I think you can have your your goals within that, be that monetarily and career wise, but I think it's important to keep your ultimate goal in sight before those, to, you know, drive you through whatever the other goals may be. And for me, that's just to use my voice.
When you come down here, did you have a plan?
No, I mean, my plan was to make music and to meet as many people as I could, and to say yes to opportunities that found me.
How about you? Did you have a plan?
Really, it was kind of a clean slate, honestly. It was like, okay, we heard a voice, speaking of voices, we heard a voice say, come to Nashville. We got here, and then the next thing we heard from that same voice was, await further instructions.
Yeah.
It was just, and as you know, and as we've talked with various people around town, we come to find that we're not the only ones that have had that experience.
No.
Right. So, but it's really interesting. I mean, we feel like as people do that and just wait, it's like things just become.
You
clear.
call it what it is, Cheyne. It's a God thing.
It is a God thing.
Yeah.
It is a God thing.
Yeah. What? We call them God winks. Yeah.
I've heard that term
Yeah,
too.
that's what we call them. I didn't have a plan. You know, when I came here, I just wanted to play music. I knew that's where you go. You go to Nashville. When I was a little kid, told the story a million times, heard Johnny Cash. That's who I wanted to be. Except, you know, prison. Didn't want to do that. But I wanted to play music. I wanted to play in front of people. And to do that, you had to go where the music was at. And that was Nashville. Didn't want to go to New York. Certainly didn't want to go to L.A. So you got to go to Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's not a bad place to be.
I love it down here. I think I love it so much, and my mom and my dad, they hate that because they know I won't be coming home because I love it down here, you know. But so, when did you start playing?
Oh gosh, well, music in general, I've been doing since I was knee high to a grasshopper. In fact, my mom told me when I was growing up that I would, as early as 3, I was memorizing songs on funky keys on the piano.
When did you start playing guitar?
But as far as guitar, it was like 9 or 10 years old. My mom gave me her old Gibson 30s round hole flat, you know, arch top, and then Dad got me started on my first 3 chords, and he played a lot too. He used to do USO shows back when he was touring military. So in that way, I kind of come by it honestly, but yeah, it was like 3 chords, and then I was like, ooh, this sounds interesting, and just over the years, it just kind of, it's mostly self-taught and playing by ear. I mean, I can read music, and somewhere along the line, of course, somebody showed me a book on the numbering system. I'm like, there we go. I like that.
I don't know that.
Oh, the Nashville numbering system.
I don't know the Nashville numbering system.
Oh, dude.
Maybe you can show me sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's 4 chords. I think you got to throw a minor in there. You can play G, C, and D, and that's good.
Right.
But you gotta have that A minor, E minor in there.
That's right.
And then you have the truth. That's mine. How about you? Well, you don't play.
I sing.
You sing.
I do.
All right. All right. Next question, Cheyne. No. When did you first start singing?
I started singing as a child. I'd say about 6 or 7, and then found classical studies first in voice, and did that for.
You're one of those. You're one of those smart singers that knows music theory and.
A little bit. I think it's important. I think it's good. It's a tool. The more tools in your toolbox, the better. But
we know 4 chords.
I think you know more than 4. I bet you do.
Capo's really helped.
Capo's a wonderful instrument.
Yep.
It is. It's a wonderful company.
I was told from a guitar teacher
that
a capo is a cheater.
Whatever.
Exactly. Well, you don't want to get arthritis from trying to make a new
That's what I'm
track.
saying. It's like, you can sit there and bar all day long. I mean, yeah, eventually it's going to cause problems.
I'm sorry.
When did you start playing music?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
picked up the guitar at 5, and wrote my first song at 8 with my dad, and wrote my last song yesterday.
Love it. Love it.
So what was your excuse me? What was the first song that you sang
Oh gosh.
besides "Mary Had a Little Lamb"
Right.
or "Old MacDonald"? We're talking song. Let's do this. Forget the first song that you sang.
Oh, I had an answer.
Oh, go ahead.
I was 9. I was first song on a stage. I was 9 years old and I sung "Rockin' Robin."
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because of copyright reasons, we can't have you do "Rockin' Robin."
That's all right.
They'll shut us down. But can you sing the first song that you wrote?
Yeah,
That you could you do it?
absolutely. Let me change.
All right, here we go.
This song's called "Change."
Now wait a minute. Now he knew you when you wrote this song,
No, but he's learned it.
and how old were you when you wrote this song?
Well, so I didn't start writing until college.
All right,
Found
that makes
songwriting
sense because if you
later.
were like back when you were 9 and he
Yeah.
was around and you're writing songs together,
Yeah.
that's something.
Well, yeah, that would be, but no,
But it's
not
not.
the case.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Good days lately coming from the bad news don't seem well. I'm not finding any peace unless I'm screaming out. Ooh, looking for change. Maybe you have done me wrong, but maybe I'll do right. Maybe I will fall to pieces. Maybe I'll think about. Ooh, looking for change. I don't need a hometown. I don't need a bed. I don't want your sympathy. I just need new air. New air. Is this some kind of breakthrough? Am I breaking down? Give me some kind of come to Jesus. I'm shaking off these grounds. Ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, I'm looking for a change. Ooh, oh, ooh, I'm looking for a change. I'm looking for a change. Looking for a change.
That was the first song that you ever wrote?
It was, yeah.
Okay,
For a homework assignment.
well, my first song used none of those chords for starters. I don't think I've ever played those chords in my life. What made you write something so, I mean, those are different chords.
Yeah, well, I was studying like vocal jazz at the time, so I think I was
Jazz.
pulled to a lot of,
Alright.
harmonically, like I was studying a lot of like, jazz standards, and that was just in my ear a lot. So I think that's kind of where it started. It's funny though, because when I wrote it, actually, I wrote it on the piano, and I sung it more of like a folk thing. Had more of like an Americana feel, but chords are kind of jazzy regardless. So kind of was what it was.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like I said, how about you? Can you play chords like that?
I haven't done a whole lot with jazz chords. Most of my stuff is more. It tends to be more rhythmic. So that's kind of where my wheelhouse is. And by the way, it was great. By the way, Chris.
Chris, you were flawless, dude.
Yeah, man, it's very nice.
I would have, my finger would have fell in the hole or something like that playing
Right. Well,
playing chords like these. So humble.
Oh, I know. Well, and you know
It's
this.
like, that's
it's
right,
like
I'm
you
good.
come to this. You come to this town, and it's like, it's like there's always somebody
Somebody better,
somebody to that's there to say, okay, here's a bar, go hit it,
Yeah.
kind of thing, which is great. It gets it gets us to just keep at it.
That's why I enjoy playing in the nursing homes, because you don't really have to go any higher. I'm just kidding. How about you? You almost hit me in the face with that.
And I apologize.
Okay.
It's crazy.
What was your first song that you wrote? Do you know?
Let's do this. All right. I like that wisdom from earlier. Okay. The first song I could go back to, which we're not going to be able to play that either because of copyright issues, was, I think I was 5, maybe 6. And I was doing a duet with my dad of an old Don Williams tune.
There you
Turn
go.
Out the Light, Love Me Tonight.
Yep.
Right. And I remember, just so much nostalgia because I remember my mom setting out one of those old 70s style, it's got the retractable handle, tote cassette recorder thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Right. So just you pop it in that deck, you sit it on top of a coffee table or something, and you just go.
Yeah.
And so that was the first one I did. The other song that's coming to mind right now is actually one that I played in college as well, and it was the one that got my wife Katrina's attention, and one thing led to another, right? So, and that's a straight up Jesus tune. I can play that one.
Play it.
It's called "Satan Get On Home."
Yeah.
All right. Boy, it's gonna be...
It's a shame Satan get on home.
Yeah. All right.
Your bedroom's over there. That's the international sign for I love you in this house from my daughter. It's a family show. Can't show her.
You were with Jesus in the desert for 40 days. And you tried to get him to surrender to your ways. You tried to get him to turn stones to bread, and you tried to get him to jump off of the ledge. But when you tried to get him to worship you, he said, Satan, get on home. When Peter found out that Jesus was the Christ, and the Lord told the 12 that he had to be crucified. You tried to use Peter to stop the act, but Jesus smelled you out, and as a matter of fact, when he found you, he stopped you in your tracks. And he said, Satan, get on home. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and he just struck you down with his mighty sword. He just knows power, and it's just as well as when you try to test him, he puts you back in your home in hell. Satan, if you think that you got the best of me, Satan, if you think that you got me up a tree, yeah, you better think twice. You all wrong. And with the power of Christ, the demons all long gone, and you can't touch me because I'm protected by his power. You better get on home. That's right, he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and he just struck you down with his mighty sword. You have no power, and it's just as well, because when you try to test him, he puts you back in your home in bed. Bye-bye, Satan. Satan, bye-bye. You better get on home. I haven't pulled that one out in a while.
Wow. It's a good song. Good song.
Where were you when you first heard him play that one?
We were at an InterVarsity Christian Fellowship meeting, and it was this big, huge auditorium, and I got there late. So I'm in the back row up in the bleachers. And here's this guy playing this song down here. And I'm like, that is a kick-ass song. I got to meet this dude. We pretty quickly found out that we were like kindred spirits when it came to music and our faith and all of that. So,
yeah. She sings too. So, but we'll get her up. We'll get her up there in a writer's room at some point. Yep.
So you wrote a lot of Christian music then?
Yeah, I mean, off and on. There's a lot of stuff back in college, and then, it's kind of I'll try to make the long story short. Life happened, and I spent about 30 years or so doing a lot of cover stuff, with contemporary worship bands and stuff. I mean, I've led teams, I've been part of teams, and that whole deal. But this is after a while. I started getting really tired of doing covers all the time, and there was always that thing of, hey, is anybody up for writing some original stuff? But but where we were in the various places we went, I could never seem to find people that, well, one either both had that same passion, but two were also I have to just being bluntly honest, at a skill level that I could roll with. So I was just like, anyway. So when the opportunity opened up to come to Nashville, I was like, let's do it, right? And of course, that's I think you guys probably know this. It's like you come here, and then when you realize the pond's way bigger, right? It's like, ooh, okay, this is interesting. But it's all been really good. It's all been really good. I don't do as much of the worship stuff now. I mean, I do try to keep up with that stuff. If I ever get the call that, hey, we need some help, can you help us out? But most of it has been just have an opportunity to really get outside the four walls, so to speak, and write some stuff with messages that can really speak to people. Where it's like they're not looking for him, but he may encounter them when they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. So.
Our producer is trying to reach me. What? Yeah, we should.
That'd be cool.
We should do that.
Yeah,
I've written a lot. I've written a lot, and I tell you a real quick story. I played in the Christian rock band from '99 to '97. No, backwards. '97 to '99, and we decided I think it was '99 that we were going to come to Nashville. So my buddy and I, we came down here, and we're going to take everybody by storm. Yeah, and that didn't happen at all. We turned around, and before we left, the band broke up.
Right.
In Nashville. And I owed him money, so I gave him my part of the sound equipment and everything, and that was the end of that. And I never thought I'd be back in Nashville again. I think I'm doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, man.
So I do. So you write about faith, God.
Yeah. I mean, I write about
relationships.
Yeah, relationships.
Yeah.
Well, and over the last,
I'm coming
I would
to
say,
you. Don't worry.
Yeah, over the last, over the last, say, like a year or so, we were talking before the live about, about like how my lyricist friend, who's also in the studio audience tonight, Pamela Boykin, and I met, and actually I consider that to be a God thing too, because she was a lyricist in need of a music person, and I was a music person who could write hooks and choruses, but I was looking to grow in the verse department, right? And so it was kind of like a chocolate peanut butter thing, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's actually what's led to a lot of the co-writes that I've been playing around town. I don't do only co-writes, but it is a lot of co-writes, I have to say, So, but yeah, working on my solo writes as well. But yeah, Pam. But yeah. So long answer to a short question.
I totally forgot what the question was.
The question was about faith and life and relationships. And yeah, I mean, that stuff gets worked in, but I think there are ways to work it in to where it's like it's relatable to everybody, and it's not just in that code that tends to hang out inside those Sunday four walls all the time. Right. So yeah. Right.
So what would you say your influences are?
Ooh. Good question. Like I said, I think for my vocal style, I studied a lot of jazz, like the early, Sarah Vaughan and all those great early jazzers. And writing wise, I don't know. I some current influences. I love Brandi Carlile. I love Lake Street Dive. Some really just great modern songwriters and bands that do some cool, like, soulful sounds is what I listen to a lot. But I listen to a little of everything. I listen to, R&B is so great right now. It's a big category for me. It's a great time for pop artists. Listen to a lot of pop music. I think I grew up listening to, my mom had the Beatles and playing, and 90s artists like Alanis Morissette and Sarah McLachlan were always playing at home. And I don't know, I find myself pretty lucky to have a pretty rich, well-rounded influence of listening growing up and being a vocalist, and keeping my ears open for whatever just sounds good.
How about you? What are your influences?
Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty much whatever comes into my ears, but a lot of what I grew up with was like that, the 60s and 70s guitar-driven rock. So, I mean, well, I won't play Stairway to Heaven on you. But of course there's Zeppelin, right? You got AC/DC, and some a lot of country influences too, because that's where my heritage is from. I have to confess, there was a while there where I would run away from country and bluegrass because it was like all I would ever be allowed to listen to, so like I had to sneak away to listen to pop and that kind of thing. But I actually, but I found myself coming back to it, and it's like, okay, this fits. So back to influences though, I mean, I love listening to jazz. I'll put on some classical every once in a while. As to how much of that makes it into like the songs I write, I don't know. I tell you, I like to listen to a lot of Trace Adkins. And there was an artist just recently that my wife and I got turned on to. Just did a stop in Charlotte, Sonny something or another.
Bono?
No, not Bono.
No, Bono.
Oh, Sonny Bono. No, this is a female artist. Oh gosh, I'm blanking. But anyway, I've just so I'm as I'm coming, kind of coming outside those four walls more. I'm actually, it's kind of a discovery period for me. A lot of different artists and sounds and everything. It's amazing what you can run across with streaming platforms these days.
For sure.
So I mean, I've got a pretty wide palette when it comes to that stuff. But I would say a lot of, like I said, a lot of my influence is going to be blues, it's going to be country, it's going to be rock. So I'm sure that lends itself into some Americana stuff as well.
So you just released an album or a single.
I did.
And let me get it right. It is called.
It's a long one.
It's Always Something. No, I'm kidding. That's my song. Instructions on How to Be a Cloud.
Yeah.
I was hoping that was the right Sarah Giles.
Instructions on how to be a cloud?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How to be a cloud.
Yeah. I had a mentor and a good friend of mine that we were talking, and she was kind of giving me life advice, and she said this really cool thing about just being a cloud and like using that as a metaphor for just, taking what you can't control in life and just letting it roll away. And I love the way she put it, and went home and wrote it that day.
When did you release it?
About 3 weeks ago.
Okay, play it for us.
Some come and some go, and some I'll never know. Sometimes I'm reminded that this is enough. I count my blessings in shared moments, exhaling, and I'm reminded that I am enough. I've come so far with all these scars. I feel empowered to be everything that I need. It's all inside me. Sleepless nights find me and troubles might be, but I keep breathing when life gets tough. Oh, my friend told me how to get by. Just be a cloud in the big lonely sky. Lay on the horizon's rays of joy, bed and just float away. I've come so far with all these scars. I feel empowered to be everything that I need. It's all inside me 'cause I'm so far with all these scars. I feel empowered to be everything that I need. It's all inside me 'cause some come and some go and some I'll never know. Sometimes I'm reminded that I am enough.
That's really pretty.
Thank you.
So you wrote that because, why?
Because that friend's life advice for me, and it really resonated, and
Yeah.
I thought it was a good message.
Yeah, and it's a very unique title. Very,
Oh, that's cool. I like her.
Very much heard that.
Oh, thank you.
she sounds like her? Yeah.
Yeah, kind
Kind of similar vibe.
And,
Yeah.
I got to research everybody that comes up here, because I just don't want to look stupid on camera. I got to know something about you. So I looked you up for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I got enough stuff. You released a Christmas album?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Halloween.
We don't want you to play any of the Christmas songs
No,
now.
it is not Christmas in July in my house.
But did you write anything on there? Did you write a Christmas song?
No, I just picked a few of my favorite tunes and just did the home recording and just some of my favorite.
That was
ones.
my next question. Where do you record at?
Home.
Do you really? You
I
do
do.
all this stuff at home?
Mhm, yeah, Chris actually produces all of my records so far,
Cool.
and we have a great time making music together.
So what do you use? You use Logic, Pro Tools? Yeah. I have GarageBand. Yeah, I'm learning how to pull things over to the left and to the right and then trying to record over. Yeah, it's not happening very well.
Oh, that's a great place to start, though.
I know, GarageBand. It's like the bottom of the thing, Because when you talk to people, it's like, what do you record on? You never hear them say, I record on GarageBand. No, it's always Pro Logic or Pro Tools.
I just finished up yesterday, actually, a project that I was mixing for somebody that recorded remote all through GarageBand.
Yeah.
Just trading GarageBand files back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Yeah.
The left and right stuff is hard in GarageBand, I will say, because you can't chop stuff up.
Yeah, like punching in and stuff.
You can't
Like
do
if
that. They don't let you do that in GarageBand, unfortunately.
you gotta I don't
Unless
know.
It's on a grid, I guess.
Yeah.
Strict grid.
I know what they're saying.
Do you?
Well, to some degree. I mean, I'm actually a PC guy, so I haven't done too much on GarageBand.
Right.
But I do have a friend that actually is with Capital, who she did an e-course to show people how you can build out a full out demo just within GarageBand.
Where do
So,
I find this at?
You can find it online. I'll send you a link. But
I'd really
but
appreciate
it's
that.
with but yeah, just for the people who are listening, it's with a group called Writing Worship. And they have a bunch of e-courses available on the Teachable platform.
Is it Mac?
Well,
GarageBand's Mac.
yeah, it's a Mac.
Okay.
It's Mac specific.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's available on there. So
I just found out what a Mac was a couple years ago because I didn't know there was really a difference, and there is.
oh yeah,
One
yeah.
is, yeah.
yeah.
Don't laugh. It's just that wasn't supposed to be funny. This part of the show. Everything's funny.
So,
All right.
Yeah. So whether it's GarageBand or in my case, I mean, I'll do Ableton. Yeah, I'm an Ableton guy.
Ableton, yeah.
For if I want to cut a demo, but like for audiobooks and stuff, I actually just use Audacity. It's free. It's simple.
I had Audacity, but that was for Windows.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can get it for any platform, though, actually. Yeah.
So
But anyway,
when you do GarageBand, okay, and you punch in, it like sets you back, like say a 4 count, and then you're supposed to go in, and then you just. Am I boring? Never mind. We'll talk about this.
Sidebar later.
Sidebar. I'm just so happy that you're here.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma,
Maybe
Delta,
we can
Speed.
talk a little bit after the show. Okay.
But for anybody listening in Nashville who might need some audio
Sure.
assistance and services, Chris is a great resource right there.
Hey,
Oh, there you go.
what do you charge for a band? Like if you go out and play a gig to run sound?
Oh, it depends on the gig. and
Okay.
what I'm
We'll
writing.
talk about that too.
We can
All
talk
right. We can talk about a lot of things.
Cool.
All right. Our next, let's see, what we got here. We did that. All right. All right. Now, you got a tearjerker song.
I know which one
Did
you're
she
talking
help you
about.
write it?
She actually did. Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it was one of the very first ones we did. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't want you to play it, but we'll talk about it. No, I do want you to play it. I do want you to play it.
I do remember that. I think the first time you caught me doing it. I think you and I were actually playing in around together. if I
Yes, you
remember.
were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked over. I was like, ooh, okay.
Where was that at?
Over Badass.
Bar Louie. Oh no,
Yeah.
you played it at Bar Louie the first
Well,
time I heard it,
okay, all right. I didn't
and then you
realize-
played it at the Bad Axe.
right when we were in a round together.
Yeah.
At Bad Axe. Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. But yes, that's true. The first time we met was at Bar Louie. That's true.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But this song don't light your
Hi, Jacob, if you're
fire.
watching.
Your wood's
I miss
wet.
you, man. I got to call you. All right. Anyway. Sorry, what's that?
Am I right? I said this song don't light your fire. Your wood's wet.
Oh.
So
Yeah. All right. So I'll go ahead and play it for you. That sounds like the segue.
you know, the Cathedral said that. You know who the Cathedrals are, don't you?
Oh,
the
cathedrals.
old gospel quartet.
Yeah.
That's where I heard that from.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah, man.
Well, you guys are gonna have a lot to talk about on the way home, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We are.
Go
That's
ahead.
awesome. Okay, cool.
Say the title of the song. And,
Oh yeah, eventually.
and who wrote
yes.
it.
So yeah, this is it's actually one of the first ones I
That's a
co-wrote
good
with my lyricist friend Pamela Boykin, and this is titled "When You Can't." When you can't. I guess I should enunciate and project for the phone. All right. He turned 82 yesterday, just called to ask a favor. Said his reach got shorter with age and shouldn't be on that ladder. So I drove out to Granddad's place, took the box from the attic. He said I just had to see my Grace, she's the only one who matters. Thumbing through the pictures, I heard my granddad say, don't spare your heart from ever getting hurt. Let the pain remind you what love is really worth. Telling the devil knows there's no peace when pride is the one thing we choose to keep. Love never makes anyone wait. It's a right now, this moment, action you take. So dance in the kitchen, play in the yard, hold hands every chance you can. 'Cause there might just come a time when you can. I sat there all afternoon, looking at pics of his honeymoon, and Grandma in bed with a new baby boy, and hair all a mess. Oh, Granddad, he laughed and smiled, and when he cried, so did I. Putting the photos back, held one to his chest, Grandma in a sundress, staring at the picture. I heard my granddad say, don't spare your heart from never getting hurt. Let the pain remind you what love is really worth. Telling the devil knows there's no peace when pride is the one thing we choose to keep. Love never makes anyone wait. It's a right now, this moment actually you take. So dance in the kitchen and play in the yard. Hold hands every chance you can. 'Cause there might just come a time when you can. Oh, I hopped in my truck, pulled out my phone. The aching feeling wouldn't leave me alone. I dialed your number, and when you said hello, all I could think to say was what a wise man once told me. Don't spare your heart from ever getting hurt. Let the pain remind you what love is really worth. Hell and the devil knows there's no peace when pride is the one thing you choose to keep. Love never makes anyone wait. It's a right now, this moment actually you take. So dance in the kitchen, play in the yard, hold hands every chance you can. 'Cause there might just come a time. Oh, 'cause there might just come a time when you can. Love every chance you can.
You don't have that recorded anywhere.
Not yet.
All right.
I am getting a lot of requests to get
And the
recorded.
second, you don't have anything on Spotify, do you?
I have a couple of things on Spotify. Part of that is, I've been talking with some people about that, and I've actually been looking at just starting out and just releasing some guitar and vocal, and then maybe do, based on that, do some crowdfunding to get some full studio versions of that put out. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to put a shout out to my buddy.
Okay.
His name's John Pinero. He's got a studio in Hendersonville, right out of his house. He recorded my latest single, which was "It's Always Something," and $20 an hour.
Oh wow!
And
that's amazing.
You can find some musicians to play with you, and it's a lot cheaper than going to some of these other studios that you'll have to give them your arm in order to record a song. So something to think about.
Yes,
put
sir.
it out there if you're interested.
I'll take that. Absolutely.
If you're interested. That's a good song. You need to get that out there.
You
need to get that out.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I'm sure if it's the Lord's will, you'll get the get the funds to put it out there.
There's provision for the vision, right?
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Do you have a song that I don't know about that you want the whole entire world to hear?
Gosh, probably lots. I guess we can do a newer song.
How many people do we have watching? Do you know? No, I just see one. I just see one. That's not true.
No, not all of them.
I know.
All right, this song's called "Do Better," and it's about dealing with anxiety, actually. So, a bit of a mental health idea. So, yeah, a good message. Oh, my chest is tired. It's another bad day, another rough night. And oh, the water's high. I'm drowning in a feeling I can't fight. But hope is buzzing in my brain. It's driving me insane. There's got to be another way to know how this goes, to find what it seems so deep. If I could feel better, this mountain wouldn't seem so steep. But oh, you help me so every time you're near. Every time you take me somewhere else and show me the way to a lighter place, a hideaway, a magical escape to help this buzzing in my brain. It's driving me insane. There's got to be another way to go with the flow, to find what it takes to feel better. If I could feel better, I know this ocean wouldn't seem so deep. If I could do better, this mountain wouldn't seem so steep. No, this mountain wouldn't seem so steep. No, this mountain wouldn't seem so steep.
That's good. What do you like to write about? Like, what's your subjects? What's your go-to?
You know, I feel like I just write what's going on in my life at the moment. You know, I think I write most often alone when I'm driving. And I feel like that's when I'm reflecting on life. And
you got your phone out and you're
I
singing
do
away.
a quick like voice memo record, let it run for 10, 15 minutes, and just listen back and pick out what I liked from it. I think it's like almost like telling myself what I need to hear.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's almost like, some people journal. I write songs.
There you go.
Yep.
Are you more of a lyric first and then music, or music then lyric? I take you as a lyric person first.
You know, it kind of, I think that melody and lyric kind of happen in tandem for me. A lot of times I'll get a melody that I really like, and I'll just kind of hum it or play it for a while until I actually find what it's trying to say, you know? I'd say melody first and then lyric second, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
I'm generally like a melody music person first. But I have been discovering a lot through journaling. For me, it's I just free write, and then the verse material starts to come out of that. And as far as themes go, it tends to come around epiphany moments. It's like, oh, never thought about that before. Oh, let's write about that. Just kind of thing. That's when I'm doing particularly when I'm doing the solo writes. And with co-writes, it's kind of like whatever comes of it. We'll get you get an idea out there, and then everybody's like, ooh, okay, so what kind of things? And somebody in the room will have some idea, but then I tend to be that person that comes in and say, okay, that's great. That's a great thought. I wonder if there's another way to express that, and then just kind of, it's like how to tweak those lyrics, but yeah. Long answer to the short question, but it's a lot of epiphany. I tend to for my solo writes tends to be around these epiphany type of moments, it's some good stuff.
And you both like to co-write.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just started doing it more than I took a long time before I found co-writing personally, but recently I've really upped that for myself and just love it. It's great to come up with ideas that you wouldn't come up with yourself, and then have somebody to sit with you for 2 hours and make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat to have a song come out of nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also from like logistically, like, okay, we're not leaving this space until it's done. So I find that co-writing means I finish a song a lot faster.
Mm.
So
Well, the last couple of times I've tried to co-write, we've left with nothing.
okay,
And
and that happens
I'm like,
too.
because sometimes I think, yeah, it clicks, and then there are sometimes that, you're trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It just ain't happening, It just ain't happening. But,
Yeah.
Well, kind of dovetailing off of that, kind of off that particular topic. It's, I'm finding it's great to be able to come out of every session with a song, but at the same time, it doesn't always have to be that way. It doesn't always have to be that way, and sometimes that's not even the time for the song to come out yet. As a whole, right? I mean, I remember, gosh, what was it? I think we had a co-write session one evening where it went from co-write mode to Fellowship of Suffering mode, and but that was a sweet time because it's like we both got hit with this thing of just like the really hard things, it's going back to the God thing, right? But just with the really hard things, those are actually the things that where I've come to realize that those are the most precious things that if I can entrust God with those, even with the pains, the deep things, that just some sweet times of contemplation come out of that, and just a greater peace and everything. It's like a cathartic aspect to it, that I have to confess, after 30 years of writing a bunch of worship songs, didn't really happen as much for me until like these last couple of years.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
And I always say, and I've said this just about every live in the living room, I think songwriting is a spiritual thing.
Oh yeah.
Because you think of things, you think, okay, I want it to go this way, and before it's all over with, you come up with stuff that you would never in a million years think about. And it's like, well, where did that come from? It's a God thing. You could say, well, it's this. No, it's a God thing. It's a spiritual thing. And when it wakes you up in the middle of the night and you got to write it down, but you can't because you're afraid the light is going to wake up your wife on the phone. What are you doing? I'm writing a song. Go back to bed. I'm making us money. It's true.
It is.
It's true.
It is. Yeah. It's been that's been interesting. I mean, Katrina knows this really well. It's like I'll have I have those moments where it's like I just can't get to sleep. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not supposed to be asleep right now. So what I end up doing is I go into the living room, get in the recliner, and then one of our cats who really likes laps says, "Oh, he's here," and then he hops up with me. And it's like, okay, but it does eventually turn into just a little drawing session with the overhead light and all that stuff. So.
But I'll lay in bed and I'll be going over this in my, because there's no way I'm going to get up, and there's no way I'm going to get the phone out, So it's 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, okay, I got to remember this. It's almost 2 more hours.
Yep.
And then I have no sleep, and then I usually have a song that doesn't make any sense in the morning. But other than that,
right. It's so funny, isn't it? How with songwriting, it can be great, and then you got the moments where it's like really inconvenient, but it's still great. Yeah, in the long run, right? So just
let me ask you this, because my wife is here. Do you bounce songs off of your wife
all the time?
And do you smack them down, like right when the plane takes off the carrier and it's going? I mean, do you smack it down like, what is that? That makes no sense. Do you get those?
I've learned to be very gentle and diplomatic.
Oh, it's gentle.
My honest.
Like she's doing right now.
It's gentle. I remember I had a great idea in my head, and I wrote it all out. I said, honey, listen to this. And she's like, that makes no sense whatsoever. And then that was it. It was poof. It was gone.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you share this with her at 4:30 in the morning?
No.
Okay, all right.
No. And then sometimes, and she's a wonderful woman.
Right.
She is. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for her.
Oh.
Even in my songwriting. But my point is, you think you got and our spouses are our best critics. Now, you're not married, right? Okay, so who do you bounce your stuff off of?
The inside of my head.
All right, well, that's good. You'll have some great hit songs. But me and you know, we got the springboard.
Mhm.
I call her Inspector 12. You know remember the guy that inspected the underwear before it went out?
Oh my gosh, that's good. That's been a minute.
And
Oh,
my
yeah,
darling
yeah.
wife is my biggest fan, other than my
Uh-huh.
mom, and my biggest critic.
Mm.
And you need that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Kindness isn't always necessarily nice. I mean, it's good when it's nice, but I'll take kindness over nice any day. You know, I mean, good, bad, ugly, good, bad, or ugly, or perceiving as ugly. I would rather hear it than somebody not tell me something that's actually going to help me.
There's been some
Take it
great
out.
songs out there in the
Yeah.
nethers that have never been played because, you know, they just didn't make sense, or A didn't connect with B. And
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing. You know, I think so many people co-write and they put out song after song after song after song after song, and it's like, which one's really gonna stick? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think about that all the time because
Mm-hmm.
I don't write songs every day like some people do.
Right. You know, and well, I've heard something else along the way too, where it's like songs can have different audiences.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There are those.
Oh, for sure.
Right. I mean, every song. I mean, I've always looked at it like every song that you write. I mean, obviously, it's meant for you because otherwise, why did it come through you, right? But and it's like different size audiences, and even if it's even if it's a song just for her,
Yeah.
it's still they all have that. They all have value in I feel like they all have value. Just it's just who's it for? Who's
Yeah.
it for? Right? So.
And I'm sorry you don't have a way to bounce your songs off of.
You can send me.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all right.
Inspector
It's
12.
okay.
there we
You don't
go.
have to be sorry. It's okay. No apology necessary.
She's got a wicked red pen, I'm
Like
telling
a song,
you.
like a little small song eval group or something. It's like, here's one. What do you think? So
No, she's great.
yeah, it's cool.
She's great. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Did everybody
Thank you for
get
having
how many
me.
songs?
Oh.
What?
Oh, speaking.
He
oh,
gets
yeah,
one
speaking
more?
of, right. So here's
How many did you do? You did 3?
Yeah, I've just done 2 so far. So
Oh, well, please
Finish
play-
us out. What do you got?
Yeah.
Play us another
Well, here's
one.
one of those Epiphany songs. This is a Jesus song. It doesn't have the word Jesus in it, but it's a Jesus song.
It's about the ark, isn't it?
It's about it is about the ark, or about like sitting on the seat.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so-
That's the one I
Yeah,
like.
this is kind of
Mercy seat.
it's it was an epiphany moment for sure. It's one of those things where it's like I discovered that spending time with God can be way more fun than I ever realized. And when people started picking up on what I was talking about, I was like, I see it now. It's like, so anyway, this is called Cherubim. All right. There we go. The musicians sing it to me, right? All right. In the back of a little white chapel when I was 6 years old, religion was peddling fire insurance with a pitch that gripped my soul. It scared the hell right out of me, made me afraid to die. All my life thinking the man above was ready with a lightning strike. And I learned he's a good daddy, he ain't chalking up no wrongs. So I told religion, get on, oh, 'cause I'm in between the cherubim. Face to face with my best friend. Look in the vine, just stand by me. He's lighted up in me when I'm partying with him in between the cherubim. His
love intoxicating. The system's been holding back. It never said that living water could ever have this effect. Smoother than Tennessee whiskey, or Hug and Elijah Rye. It comes from a shelf up high. Talk about sweet by and by. Never thought I would be hammered at only 9 a.m. It's here for anyone looking. Now I'm in between the cherubim, sitting in the round, picking and grinning. Up in the vine, just mainlining. He's lighted up in me when I'm partying with him in between the cherubim. In him I'm living, now and forevermore. In him I'm moving, he opens every door. In him I'm reigning, I am a king and priest. Oh, when he set me down on that mercy seat. Yeah, I'm in between the cherubim, sitting in the round, picking and grinning. Up in the line, just mainlining. He's lighted up in me when I'm partying with him. He's lighted up in me when I'm partying with him. In between the cherubim. There's no high like the most high. Yeah, now there's no high like the most high.
That's a great song. Very good. Well, let's try it again. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight.
Yes, I did, and thank you
for
for
having
inviting
me.
me.
I hope I got to pick your brains a little bit, and our audience out there to get to know you, and if they like you, tell us where they can find your music.
Yeah, you can find me at Sarah Giles Music on all the social media platforms, and Sarah Giles on all the streaming platforms.
Okay. And you can find me on Instagram profile at The Real Cheyne Stilwell. We didn't actually spell that out earlier. Cheyne. So The Real Cheyne Stilwell on Instagram. I've also got a Facebook page by that same name. And
How about your audiobook?
the audiobook? Well, I was just going to say, I also have a link tree, and I just posted a link to the audiobook on my link tree. So you can find the link tree link in my bio on Instagram as well as on my Facebook page.
What's the name of the book?
It's called Deathless, and the author's name is Tommy Miller, and of course I was the one that narrated that.
And how many hours was that?
Roughly 5.5 hours.
So if you like this man's voice and you want to just enjoy smooth, check out his Deathless on your audiobook.
That's right.
I'll have to check it out.
Cool. And you can also find a link to my World Awakening podcast on my link tree as well. So that's the kind of the radio side of things.
So are you playing anywhere?
Yeah. So
coming up.
So I just got invited to play along with John Mullenhauer, another artist in town, up at a place called the Why Not Saloon over in Bellevue.
Okay.
So that's this Saturday from 5 to 7, and then I've got a couple more rounds next week. Playing the Commodore Tuesday night with Jimmy and Annalisa, and then I'll put some more details up on my social with that. And then I'm actually playing along in a round with Cindy Ellis. I want to say it's at the Maxwell House here in town.
What day?
I want to say that's the 1st, but I'm getting ready to put an update of my upcoming dates up on my social. So yeah, you can check me. You can follow me there and find out where I'm going to be.
And how about you?
Show's coming up, yeah. Well, I'll be at the Bad Axe on Wednesday.
Cool.
Come on out. And
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
I know. I'm just, it's comedy. I know where she's going to be. I know my schedule. Shut up. That's my daughter I'm talking to. Pray for her. All right. Go ahead. What else?
Oh, and catch me next week. Actually in Ohio next week, so in Columbus, Ohio.
What are you doing there?
Playing with my friend Emily Lear at we're playing at Quaker Steak and Lube in Columbus, Ohio.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Quaker Steak and Lube.
Yep.
What day?
Friday the 2nd.
Friday.
Yep.
August 2nd. Okay.
Yeah.
She's got a cousin that lives up in Columbus, so we'll have to tell him you're coming.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris? You got anything coming up? Playing anywhere? Doing anything?
Not as myself at the moment.
No?
Regrouping at the moment.
Okay.
A lot of studio stuff. A lot of time in the studio.
That's great. You're a great guitar player.
Mm.
I didn't see one G chord, though. I think we need to go back and practice a little bit.
That's got a couple
Not the way I play it.
Thanks for letting me throw a wrench in your show.
Hey, you're welcome. You know what? There's nothing better than I like when people come out to play better than me. That's why we don't have Carson Mack back ever.
Carson's good.
Oh my goodness, he's great. You know Carson?
Yeah. I think I met him first time I played over at Bad Axe with you and other folks. Actually, yeah, we played over there too that night. Yeah. So yeah, and it's
That was a very humbling night.
This evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeremy?
What's that?
That was a very humbling night. After Carson Mack got up, I'm like, why should I even pick up my guitar anymore? Nah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I don't know if he's watching, but you're great. So I'm playing tomorrow night. No, I'm not playing. Yes, I'm playing tomorrow night at the Bad Axe.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday night. Yes, I'm playing tomorrow night too. The band. I got a band now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
422 West. Check us out. We already got
Cool.
4 gigs lined up. I've only had 2 practices. But they're good. The guys are really good. If you listen to my single out, It's Always Something, the guys are on it, and it's really good.
It's good.
Then we're going to Ohio. We got 2 shows in Ohio. Roxy's. Is it called Roxy's Bar or just Roxy's? Roxy's.
Where in Ohio?
North Bloomfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's about that far on the map from Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got
How big your map is.
we got Bronzewood Golf Course. That's a nice little gig there. Yeah, they like it.
Yeah, I think I just saw that up on your page. Cool.
Yeah, you got to come out and watch the show. A little bit of a drive, but I think you'd enjoy yourself.
Oh, I can go for drives.
9 hours.
It's like 9
Oh,
hours.
okay. Well, 9 hours. Okay. Yeah.
And then we got a new single coming out, but we have to record it, but that's what we're doing next, called Mushroom. So the guys are going to be playing that, so check that out. Thank you, Shane.
Hey,
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you,
Thank you for
Chris.
having me.
Thank you, our studio audience. We always have a tradition. My mom back home is watching, so everybody say hi, Mom. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi, Mom. And she's going, hi. And all right, well, who's on the next Live in the Living Room?
Next one is Toast and Roberts.
Doug Tolston and Doug Roberts. Oh, that ought to be a good one. Huh? The 2 Dougs. They call him Toast and Doug Robertson. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Good night. We'll see you down the road. Make some